On youth affairs and enterprise development, the modernization of theaters, music halls, and art galleries has created over 1,000 creative jobs, while the new investments in film, music, and gaming are giving young people careers in the creative economy. A further 32,839 youth have been trained in entrepreneurship skills and supported with loans worth over 400 million shillings to start and expand businesses. And you know very well that we are also rolling out the Nyota program, which is basically 100,000 youth being trained on entrepreneurship, and about 70 youth in all of the 1,450 wards receiving about 50,000 to start their businesses over and above the KJET program. So we really are targeting our young people to ensure that they get into being self-employed. On tourism and creative economy, the tourism sector is supporting 1.6 million jobs directly, which is 8% of the national employment, while also contributing to the over 3.1 million tourism-related jobs. The increased tourism income is as a result of more investments in the sector, which has led to more tourist arrivals and increased foreign exchange. And so it's very important because you can see over 2 million tourists have arrived in Kenya in the last 1 year, and over 5 million Kenyans have been able to travel across. And so the support of 1.6 million jobs has been very, very important. In fact, the high season this year has been extremely commendable. Many people, both young and old, from across the globe have come to visit. And so the ETA that we established has been extremely important in terms of ensuring that we have cash flow from outside. When it comes to security forces, the Kenya Defence Forces will be conducting its recruitment of General Service Officers, GSO, cadets, regular and graduates, specialist officers, general duty recruits, tradesmen, women, and Defence Forces constables, which is scheduled to take place in the month of October 2025. Also, National Police Service is recruiting police constables into the National Police Service this October. The government is appealing to all eligible and qualified candidates to visit recruitment centers and even apply online across the country. Engaging in bribery or other corrupt practices with intent to influence the recruitment process constitutes a criminal offense. As the government has articulated, we remain committed to improving the welfare of all Kenyans without discrimination in adherence to the dictates of our progressive constitution. Achievement of its promises to the citizenry under the Better Plan are well on course projected to create a better country for us all. Kenya itainuka, Kenya itasimama, Kenya itanawiri kwa umoja na uzalendo. Mimi ni Mkenya mzalendo. Je, wewe? Mimi ni Mkenya mzalendo daima. On the MSMEs and local enterprises, the refurbishment of 31 constituency industrial development centers under the micro, small, and medium enterprises MSMEs subsector is projected to create 9,000 jobs, and the Micro Small Enterprise Authority, MSEA, has already supported 2,001 youth jobs while linking enterprises to local and regional markets. These reforms have made it easier for young entrepreneurs to access financing and formalization of their businesses. On labor mobility, Kenya has signed 6 bilateral labor agreements with the United Kingdom, Saudi Arabia, UAE, Qatar, Germany, and Austria, resulting to over 452,000 jobs abroad, up from only 14,000 in the year 2022. These employment opportunities spread over diverse sectors, including technical fields, hospitality, and healthcare, with 586 nurses already cleared for work overseas. And so therefore, those people who keep on saying that, oh, it's not important for our young people to work abroad, I think it's important to say that it is very important to say it's very important, because we have been able to generate 660 billion shillings, that of which 85% is going to households in the rural economy, and therefore this has become the greatest, foreign exchange earner for our country. And so, if you have a job, please, and you need to go abroad, we now have very serious mechanisms to ensure that you do it well. There is a dedicated desk at the immigration, and many of the things have been fast-tracked so that then we can have this. It is a target of the government, as directed by the President, His Excellency the President William Ruto, that we mark up this target to $1 trillion Kenya shillings, which really will make very significant changes. Over $5 billion US dollars is now coming into our country. And these are hardworking Kenyans who are supporting our economy. And that is why this government established the State Department for Diaspora Affairs so that it can be able to look into the issues of our Kenyans who are working abroad. On investments, industry and special economic zones, jobs in export processing zones, export promotion zones, EPZs, have grown by 14,000 in 3 years, with 4 new flagship EPZs under constructions, and this will be expected to create about 5,000 jobs. Investment in the special economic zones have also generated 11,000 additional jobs, while the Kenya Development Corporation has enabled job creation through lending and enterprise development. And this is for sure. We've been able, as an office, to visit Mai Mahiu, a special economic zone. We see that Japan has come to Kenya, for example. There is actually a biscuit and a milk powder processing company and electric car manufacturing company, all of them that are in Mai Mahiu. The same situation in other special economic zones, including the recent one that the president has been to in Vipingo. And so it's very important that we take advantage of such opportunities so that we can accelerate our investment. The county aggregation and industrial parks KIPES are also creating more rural jobs by linking farmers to processors and markets. And this is very important because you look at, for example, the one in Sagana, highly developed, about 13 of them are almost in completion for utilization, but we are targeting all of the 47 at a cost of about 500 million each, 250 from the national government and 250 from the county governments. And we really want to commend the county governments that have come on board to ensure that this is a reality. Kenya itainuka, Kenya itasimama, Kenya itanawiri kwa umoja na uzalendo. Mimi ni Mkenya mzalendo. Je, wewe? Mimi ni Mkenya mzalendo daima. As we reflect on the 3 years of President William Ruto's administration in power, it is important to note that a lot of milestones have been covered to make good to the president's election pledges to Kenyans. In all these milestones, the government's focus has mainly been on job creation, not to mention agricultural transformation for food security and eventually lowering the cost of living, which have been well addressed amongst other achievements. Our focus today is thus on the achievements attained in the creation of jobs across all sectors of our economy, particularly in the agricultural and education sectors, creative economy, and in the high seas. On health service delivery, under the Universal Health Coverage UHC initiatives, 18,831 community health promoters, CHPs, have been trained and equipped with kits and smartphones to enable them to reach out to their communities. We just met quite a number in various counties, the recent one being in Embu, about 1,650, and over 107,000 CHPs, community health promoters, are receiving the 2,500 stipend from the government. And we will continue to support them and renew their engagement with us as a government and the community, because they are in the preventive pillar. They are to ensure that we prevent and promote health practices that are actually going to ensure that we reduce the morbidity in this country. These engagements also are important because they are leading to healthier societies and therefore a proper work. Let me now turn to education and the human capital development. To strengthen education and give our children a brighter future, the government has employed 76,000 teachers since the year 2022. The government, through the Teacher Service Commission, has also advertised 24,000 new jobs this year, creating hope for graduates and communities. In our manifesto, we promised that we will employ 116,000 teachers, and by January next year, 2026, we shall have done 100,000, and the remainder shall be done before 2027. On the digital superhighway and information communication technology and the creative economy, Kenya is fast becoming Africa's digital hub, as the 50,000 kilometers of fiber cable has been laid across the country over the years, connecting schools, villages, and businesses to the superhighway. Recently, we visited the Konza Technopolis And a lot of innovations are happening there. And over 16 companies have now set base to work in that environment. And we're encouraging many more startups and entrepreneurs to actually go to that site, and they will benefit a lot. There's an investor who is putting together a factory that is going to employ over 10,000 people by the beginning of next year. There are over 1,500 Wi-Fi hotspots and 404 digital hubs are providing access to more Kenyans, with nearly 1.9 million youth having been trained in ICT, coding, cloud, and AI technologies. This has in turn created close to 300,000 digital jobs in freelancing, e-commerce, and the creative economy. Today, more than 40 million Kenyans are transacting businesses online, and over 21,500 government services are available at the click of a button, the way we set up Tengele. On the blue economy, the expansion of the blue economy sector is generating new jobs in fishing, processing, marketing, and logistics. We just recently, as an office, visited Kidongo, BMU that is being built there in Mombasa, and many other infrastructure landing sites across the country. In particular, investments in fish landing sites and deep sea fishing training has opened new frontiers for young people. As of 2025, a total of 875 youth have been trained in modern fishing methods, creating safer and more profitable livelihoods for them. And so therefore, the blue economy is very important, and we expect that this economy will grow. Currently, it's about 32 billion Kenya shillings, but it has it's a potential up to about 250 billion if well structured. And now you can see the whole idea of ensuring that we train our people to avoid, the high seas, people coming with their big trawlers and stealing our fish. That has been happening for quite some time, but now we are building local capacity. And of course, we have also been able to organize our fisher folk into the common interest groups, and which we are now calling BMUs, which have also now graduated into cooperatives, so that they can also benefit from other ways and means of enhancing their hustle. It's very important, even including weed seed farming, women in places like Kilifi and Kwale and such other coastal counties, so that it becomes a source of livelihood for them. And so therefore the blue economy is critical going forward as a new frontier for investment, including working with Kenya Shipyard to build more boats, having an affordable boat of about 1 million, 1.5 million, for various people, so that we avoid this issue of using wooden boats that have got high mortality. On average, we've been losing about 5,000 Kenyans. But now, when you enhance this hustle, then we'll have more and more Kenyans, getting, that support over and above the jobs already created. On the affordable housing program, the affordable housing generates direct, indirect, and induced jobs. So far, there are over 330,000 jobs created in the following dimensions. A, construction and infrastructure. And this is very clear that masons, carpenters, plumbers, electricians, welders, site engineers, architects, quantity surveyors, equipment operators, etc., together with supply chains, cement, steel, timber, paint, tiles, and roofing materials. When it comes to manufacturing and local industry, jobs in producing and supplying building materials, prefabrication of doors and windows and panels, and of course, transport and logistics for moving materials, because every time you want to build, you must also get somebody to transport your items. Professional services like for architects, planners, environmental consultants for AI, environmental impact assessment, financiers, valuers, lawyers, etc. And facility management in terms of the site managers, security guards, cleaners, and even caretakers. So this is very important. And of course, in retail sector, we also have new housing estates. I remember meeting Mr. Odhiambo from Mukuru Estate, telling me that because of this AHP, now they don't even have a lot of diseases because the environment is cleaner. So you can see also the cost in terms of ensuring that we are reducing, cost to families. It's very important, because that means if someone is working, then they have more disposable income other than it going to medication. Community transformation and spin-off employment, food vendors, small shops, border operators, local suppliers, all benefiting from increased settlement population And of course, there's very good urban planning as a result. On agriculture and value chains, the bold reforms in the agriculture sector are opening new opportunities for farmers, and the investments in coffee, tea, sugar, and cotton sectors. These have secured direct jobs and supported millions of livelihoods across many villages within the borders of our great country, Kenya. The revival of 6 cotton ginneries alone has created 700 new jobs in counties such as Busia, Bungoma, Kitui, and Embu. The distribution of 100 high-volume grain dryers is expected to create more than 10,000 jobs in cooperatives and small enterprises, adding to the over 23,000 rural jobs that have been created through cotton farming, ginning, and textile activities. In fact, if you look at the whole summation of all of the jobs, the fifth administration under President William Ruto has been able to create over 1.3 million jobs and counting.